What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Discord Friday. If you're new to the channel, I go over on Discord. People post their work over there. I take those pictures and I put them on a Discord Friday to let you know what I would do differently or not at all. And, you know, we have good pallets and we have bad pallets over there. So everything is a learning tool. We got every warehouse that you could possibly think of that post over on Discord. So if you're not a member, you're missing out over there. Come join. It's free. If you want to subscribe to the channel, guys, that's how you support my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm hoping to get 5,000 subscribers here in a couple months. If you guys want to give me a thumbs up and comment on my videos, that's also going to help my videos out a lot. And the donations, I have been getting some donations coming in to help support the channel, and it's much appreciated. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, before we get to Discord Friday, I just want to go over I've sold quite a few of these lately. You know, this is the front of it. That's the back of it right there. Time people don't know that there is a logo on the back. It says online training and warehouse community. And this is the front of it. Now, as of right now, I got no hoodies left. I just shipped out the last hoodie yesterday. I have 3 extra large blacks, 1 medium black. I got 1 extra large gray and 1 large gray. I'm going to sell all these for a flat $25 shipped to the lower 48. All right, guys, I paid $18 a piece for these. All right, and shipping cost me like $5 something to ship the shirts to around this area in the Pittsburgh area, so to the East Coast. It might cost me a little bit more to ship it to the West Coast. I am breaking even on these shirts, guys. So the person that just bought a hoodie off of me, they threw a little extra money on for a donation to just, you know, so I can make a little bit on the hoodie, which is, I love it. I appreciate it. You guys are great. I love when you do that. I basically want to break even on these shirts just to get my name out there and try to get people wearing my shirts. So if I get a lot of interest in these last couple shirts, I got 6 left. If I get a lot of interest in those, then I will place another order. Guys, the order that I placed before, it cost me $500 some. All right, I really don't have that type of money. So if there's an interest for it, I will get more. So if you guys are interested, you can message me on Discord or just leave a comment underneath one of my videos and I'll see it and we can go from there. All right, guys, so the first picture I want to go over this one, another one in dry. I love when you guys do this because it just shows the different, you know, same products from my warehouse, but just a different way of going at it. But I love this, guys. See how we space out cases? We're not forcing cases on here to fill out every gap. Nice and tied in. We got all of our broths upright. I don't like it when people lay their broths on their sides. Guys, those little tabs on the top, they could easily break open. If they break open, you're going to have broth leaking all over the place. Now we got our coffee mates. Just look at this, just perfect. We got a slip sheet in here, no problem with that. Probably a slip sheet right here, it looks like. We got our Capri Suns. You know, just a perfectly well executed pallet, tied in the whole way through. Just very, very nicely done. All right, guys, I believe this is Cole Wolf's, and this is, you need to do what he's doing here. So I always say, do not force tie-ins. Column stack until you have the opportunity to tie in. When you force a tie-in, then your pallet goes wrong. Guys, column. So we had this case first, and then we column stacked our cat food to be just a slight shy. So this is our high and low we talk about. We got a high corner with a little bit lower of an inside. Well, if we put a thicker case on the inside and a little bit lower case on the outside, guess what? We're going to get even again. So this is something always to remember, and it's something that I always take mental notes of. Is that what I just said? So keep that in mind. Nice big case on the corner. You know, he waited for his opportunity to tie in, and he got it right here. And then he gets his big case, dog food, and then he ties in again. See, we got a high and a low, but with dog food, you can get level again, guys. You can just shake the contents around in there and, you know, just pat the bag down. And then look, we stick with the column stack until we get an opportunity to go the opposite direction. One in, just filling a case in the gap. Column stacked until the opportunity to tie in on the top. You do not force tie-ins. This is exactly how I would do it. Excellent pallet as always. All right, guys, here's another picture of some dry products with some big, I don't know what these are on top, containers or something like that, but this is really nicely done. Not exactly how I would form my base, but it's I like it though. We got little cases in the middle. We got slippery cases in the middle. 2 cases to stain pointing back, 1 case in, 1 case in, 1 case in. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the jelly. Now that I'm looking at it with all the little product that you have, I actually probably would do this very similar. We got the skinny case in the middle, filling in a gap, got a rock in. You never want to have a rock out. This is the result of having a high corner with a low inside, keeping light cases together, one case in, one case in. Or yeah, guys, I just love this small case base right here, and they nailed it. And then we just top it off, column stacker boxes right on top of this base. I love this. This is really, really, really nicely done. Thank you for posting your pictures. Guys, if you work in this type of warehouse, you want to do the same thing. You want to take your time with the base, and then you could just throw this stuff on. So you might take a little bit more time to do this, but then this is going to be easy stacking. Now, this picture, we just threw all these cases on, and we didn't pay no mind to our base, and then we got to throw these on. Well, guess what they're going to be doing? They're going to be leaning this way, and your pallet's going to look like a mess. This pallet is excellent. All right, guys, this next pallet, a little awkward. A couple of these pallets are taken on a slant, so I had to straighten them up. But for what we could see here, very nicely done. You know, just smaller cases in the middle. We got a tie into a high to a low, but it's not bad. Yeah, we were sort of able to correct ourselves here, even though we got a column stack in the back. These are all lighter boxes, Hostess and everything. Pretty much from here up is light cases. So we got a nice solid base. It's pretty good because you got to see it once again. High corners, low inside. I see way too many new selectors don't care about their corners. Your corners are the most important part of your pallet along with your base. And if you keep that high corner, low inside, guys, and when I say low inside, I don't mean like a case that's half of this. You want the case to be pretty darn close, but if it's just slightly lower, you want it on the inside so we get this rock coming back into the pallet and not coming out. But I love it. This is a very nicely done pallet. You got big boxes up here, so you're going to come out a little bit. Not too much you could do. Maybe just this case back here, just turn it sideways, and you could have just pushed everything back over so we're not hanging out. Sometimes that's all it takes, guys, is just turning a case to make everything fit. We're up towards the top of the pallet, so I don't mind the big box in there to tie everything in. And we even went out even further. So that's the only downfall I'm going to say with this pallet. Right here, we should have turned the case and slid these cases back so it fit on the pallet better. And we shouldn't have put this case here because we went out even further from the looks of it. We went out even further than this box. So just watch your lines. Other than that, great looking pallet. Just watch your lines. All right, this one here, when I first looked at it, I was like, I'm not big on breaker pallets, let's just put it that way. I think we're going to look at the front of your pallet as well. These cases back here could take the breaker pallet with no problem. And if you're, guys, always remember, ask your company if they allow this stuff, because some companies do not allow breaker pallets. I told you at my warehouse, we don't use them. I've seen 2 people use them probably in the last 7 years. We do not use breaker pallets at our work. We're not trained to use them, so we don't use them. I'm not a fan of them for multiple reasons. 1, they crush product, and 2, they make your cube higher than it has to be. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the front of that pallet. Once again, I say the only thing I'm disagreeing with, it looks like this box is higher than this. So look, it looks like it don't even look like this corner of this pallet's touching this case right here, because this box is higher. So I would have took this box out so it was resting on this case. And I don't like this case being used as a corner because of plastic, a little bit weaker plastic, I should say, and they're going to crush. And it already looks like this one's crushing. But your corner is not even level. Like, this pallet is hovering over the corner. So that's going to give this pallet a rock because of this case right here. I like your totes up front. I like how you did that because I did explain that on a different one. I do like the totes being up front, and you could tell you can stack. My opinion, you could have built this just fine without the breaker pallet, unless, which I doubt, this was paced up. Another high lift threw this up there because they're trying to save room on the truck. But in my opinion, you could have built all this without, because look at this up here. It's perfectly done. You could build, and I would do it without the breaker because you're risking damaging cases. This case might get damaged as well because there's no pressure on that corner. So we might smash this case by the time it gets to the store. Not a fan of the breaker pallet, but you could definitely build it, and I guarantee you could do it without it. All right, guys, this one here, what a beautiful Beautifully done. I love seeing stuff like this because I guarantee they made their times, and it's someone that cares. I can't stand, I get it, guys. I get you want to make as much money as possible in the warehouse. I get you want to make that incentive. And I get that people don't care. Oh, I'm only going to be doing this job for a few years, so I don't give a shit what happens with my pallets. I love the people that actually care and put some thought into their work and make it look presentable and know that it's going to get shipped possibly hundreds of miles, and they want it to look like this when it gets to the store. This is perfect. Stacking your crates together up front. I love it. We call them stacked LaCroix. I probably would have tried to tie them in, but I'm not gonna. You tie it in up here. You got this. Yeah, we tied in right here, and we kept tying in. So all this is gonna offset the columns that we did down here. So I don't mind that. Once again, guys, just because I say I would do something different doesn't mean it's right. But this back pallet is just solid as a rock. I love that back pallet. Just two beautiful pallets, and I love that you guys post this because we get slightly different products, and this shows, even though this is dry stuff and we have a lot of the same products, we get slightly different products, so it's showing a little bit different ways of doing things. So thank you. All right, guys, another sort of awkward picture here. Another one. I love this too. So, hi guys, look, these guys are listening. I don't know if you guys are, we're doing this before you found my channel, but high corner, low inside, cases facing, just keeping things simplistic. Now, we call them stacked here. We got little tie-ins every now and then on the base. We got some tie-ins going on, but these are light cases, and you can get away with column stacking. We got a hot sauce in there. So the only thing that I would do sometimes, so say we got these two cases first and you threw the hot sauce in there. Literally, it would take what, 10 seconds, if that. I'm going to take these two cases and just shoo them out, and I'm going to drop this hot sauce right in here. This hot sauce would have fit perfect right in here. Then I would have took these two cases and I would have stacked it back on top. That way there's light cases leaning in this and not heavy. All right, I hope that makes sense. Drop the hot sauce down here and then put these two cases back on top, and that pallet's going to even be even more sturdy. Even though this is probably not going to push over these two columns, but you never know. Sometimes that's all it takes is just a little bit of weight to push on something, and it's going to cause a problem. But other than that, very nicely done. All right, guys, this pallet here, beautiful. There's a couple things that I really like with this pallet. Is one, we kept all of our open boxes together. You don't see us spreading our open boxes around because you do not want to stack inside of open boxes, which we did not do that. These bigger boxes are resting on top. We're not crushing anything. We got column. Actually, I told you before, I consider two not a column. This is a nice tie-in back here. Looks like we have a slip sheet and, open boxes by itself. Another thing, guys, just a beautifully built pallet. But the other thing, what do you see on these boxes up here? Every single arrow is pointing up. You do not want to turn these cases upside down. Way too many times have I seen cases upside down and they leak. These little fruit cups in here that are in there, guys, they break open so easy. All right, I'm telling you, just a small hole in the seal, and you turn this box upside down, and it's going to be leaking. It's going to soak that box and possibly soak the box underneath of it. So I love that all your arrows are facing upwards. All right, guys, another one. Nicely done. We're in produce. Column stack, guys. These bigger boxes, you want to column stack. Keep it nice and simple. We got open boxes going straight up together. We got boxes here. Now this two, guys, what do you notice? All the green arrows facing up. You do not want to face these green arrows down. We put a band around the corners here. I got no problem with that, guys. You have a band that's just sitting there and it fits around, throw them on. What the heck? It's going to help support the pallet. And I love the Ford cardboard here on top of the grapes. He knew that he did not have a case to fit on here, and he did not want to rest his cases inside the grapes because, guys, even these light cases is enough to start smashing grapes. All right, you do not want to put anything on an open box because you're gonna smash the grapes. And then I always say, what's the point, guys? If you're selecting the damaged product, then why are you even there? So I love how I believe this was Jeremy. I love how you did this. Great job, great little palette. And honestly, he can crush the times on this because it's just simple column stacking. All right, guys, let's end with the last pallet here. Now, the person that posted this, I knew it wasn't them because I've seen their work in the past and I knew they wouldn't do this. Now, someone pointed out the broken wood. I didn't even notice the broken wood at first because I was just hypnotized by all the tidy cat sideways. Guys, even though this is not going to hurt the tidy cats, the point is why. Why column stack this? Now, even though these got the feathers on them, so they're the lighter ones, why column stack them when this is easily a tie-in? First of all, you guys got broken wood like this, you do not want to use it. Second, we can't put the Clorox on top of the tidy cat. So obviously we selected we got vinegar, it looks like. So guys, what I would have done is all these oddball cases before we got to the tidy cats would have been stacked on the front of my pallet. And then the whole back of my pallet would have been tied in with all the tidy cats. And then I guarantee I would have got leveled and I would have started, tying this in. This whole pallet is an easy tie-in. So there's no reason to do this. I mean, once again, guys, you can get away with turning these cases on their sides as long as you're putting a case of the same size on top of it, because the sides of these boxes are weak, so they can crush. If you put like a different type of product on it where it's heavy and you're putting it right in the middle of that box, it can crush. But all these boxes are the same size, so they're all sitting right on each other. But in the same aspect, guys, you do not want to column stack dry like this, especially when you could tie in. Put these upright and tie them in. All right, guys, that's it for this Discord Friday. If you guys want a shirt, like I said, I got a few t-shirts left. Send me a message on Discord or just leave a comment on the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.